back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to another series on MLB The Show 26. This is an Angels franchise, and you might be wondering, well, why the Angels? And really, just to be honest, I decided spin the wheel and see what we got, and it was between the Angels and the Blue Jays, and the Angels, unfortunately for us, won out. So we are going to take on this mess of a team with, of course, Mike Trout. What do we do with Mike Trout? What do we do with this team? Because we don't have a farm system, we don't really have a core, and we've got one of the best players in baseball if he can stay healthy. So we're really going to try to just take make something out of nothing, you know what I mean? And how this series will work is we will play one Sim 5 for a little bit, and then once we get competitive, I want to play a game a week basically and just pick what I think is the best matchup, but we've got a long way to go before we get there. So in today's video, we're going to take on opening day versus the Astros, and then a game against the Cubs. So we're not going to waste any time because we need to just get in here and get some games going and get out of, this first couple of years basically. So we're just going to hop right into opening day. So opening day this year is at Houston, and these are two teams that are expected to be bottom of the division. Angels probably expected to be further down, but the Astros, at least coming into the season, didn't look great on paper. They had some questions, so we'll see how that compares into MLB The Show. They've been doing quite well in real life, but the AL West has been very bad. So they're sending Mike Burrows to the mound as their opening day starter and the ace of their rotation. Hunter Brown is hurt, and that might factor into their struggles this season. Leading off is Shanoel, and he will draw a walk challenged by Diaz. That's going to be out. And a nice start to the game for the Angels for Mike Trout. Trout hits one to the shortstop for a 6-4-3 double play, so nothing's going to come out of that first inning for the Halos. On the mound is Grayson Rodriguez, and the Angels are hoping if he can stay healthy, maybe he can be kind of like a reclamation project. Never really panned out for the Orioles because he was never on the field. But maybe if he can stay healthy, there's numbers that last year, we'll see what he can do. And he's going to start his afternoon with a 1-2-3 bottom of the first with a punch out. Next is Zach Neto. He is going to hit that high end deep to left, and it is going to get out of there just barely. 407 to left field. I'm sorry, for Logan O'Hoppe, not Zach Neto, but for Logan O'Hoppe, the catcher. And he is looking to build on the year he had in 2025. I had him in fantasy, and I remember he hit a lot of bombs. Here's Zach Neto, top four, Angels with a 1-0 lead. He's going to put a charge into this one. Center fielder on his high horse, looking back and up and gone into center field for Zach Neto, the shortstop. And he is going to be someone that we have to figure out what to do with because he's got pretty good potential. He's a great power hitter. He is our best hitter, but do we trade him along with Joe Adele? Josh Lowe to center field, and the center fielder has been busy for Houston. He makes the running catch, crashing into the wall, and it's one man down. So Rodriguez looked good through the first 4 innings, but maybe that second and third time through the order might be where he struggles, as Altuve hits a 1-out double. Yainer Diaz, the catcher, is going to hit a double, and what doesn't really help for the Angels is their defense isn't that great. Nothing about them is great, but Trout's old. He's not really, a center fielder anymore, and so you're going to have a lot of gappers for opposing teams. So there's a blue hit into right, and that's just some bad luck. It's a well-placed pitch. But we are tied up at 2. Cam Smith is going to go down on strikes. And Jeremy Pena is going to go into left field, and that is going to be extra bases. The Astros will take a 3-2 lead as the lineup card flips over. Alvarez hits it to right. They're just teeing off Grayson Rodriguez at this point, and it's going to be a 4-2 Houston lead. Let's see if he can get out of it. It's his inning to get out of, and he will with a strikeout. So Rodriguez is done, and that's not what you like, but you can expect that from the Angels. And Zach Neto goes to left center, or left field again, and that is going to be his second home run of the game. 438 feet off the bat, and I am enjoying Neto's swing. So that also will factor into what we do, you know? If I like hitting with a certain guy, I'm not going to trade him. Why would I do that? I need all the help I can get in this game. So, the Angels pull within 1. It's 4-3. We go top 7 still. Josh Lowe goes the other way into left. That's going to drop in front of the left fielder. Frazier, who reached on a base hit, is going to move up to third. That was a risky play from Frazier, but he's there. Runners at the corners now for Logan O'Hoppe. He goes down swinging with the high fastball. Here is Jorge Soler. He's going to take that one into left field. That's going to drop in front of the left fielder. Frazier had to hold up and make sure it actually fell in, but we are squared up at 4 in the top of the 7th. Lineup turns over now. Nolan Shanoel. He had a base hit and a walk, but he is going to ground out. Or actually line out, but the runner thought that was going in, so he's out at second. To the 9th. Zach Neto puts a charge into that one, but it is not going to go out. Unfortunately for him, it dies in center field. But this ball from Adam Frazier is hit into center, and that's a base hit. Frazier's had a 2-for-2 game. Josh Lowe had a base hit his last time up. He's going to hit it in a similar spot into left field. That's going to bounce off the wall. And Frazier, who was pinch run for, but the runner is going to score. Angels take a 5-4 lead off the RBI double from Josh Lowe in the 9th. Logan O'Hoppe had a home run in his first at-bat. This time he will line into right. Again, had to make sure that got down, so Josh Lowe will not score. And Nolan Shanoel again. And he hits it out of here into right field, a 3-run bomb. So, that's what you like to see. Nolan Shanoel has a 2-hit game, and he makes up for lining out on that hard hit ball in the 7th. And he gives the Angels a little bit of insurance. It's 8-4 going into the bottom of the 9th. Kirby Yates is on the mound. Jake Myers, center fielder, is going to line that one into right field for a base hit for Cam Smith. He goes down swinging. Lineup's going to flip over now to Jeremy Pena. He's the last hope for the Astros. First pitch swinging to right field. Joe Adele at the wall. Looks up, leaps. He cannot bring it back. Cam Smith makes it interesting. Jeremy Pena, I should say, makes it interesting as he goes deep. And it is an 8-6 ball game with the better part of the Astros lineup coming up here in the bottom of the 9th. And in fact, the best hitter of the Astros lineup, 0-2 to Yordan, and he goes down swinging. So it gets a little shaky at the end, but we do take opening day from the Astros, and we will end up taking the series, winning 3 out of 4. Grayson Rodriguez went 5. He got 6 strikeouts. And, you know, you would want better for him, but you can't complain too much. I think we just have to see how he does. I'm sorry, he got 7 strikeouts. I think we just have to see how he does next time going through that second, third time through the order. And Zach Neto, of course, was your player of the game with 2 bombs. So we'll see how he continues to do. And he's, spoiler alert, he's doing well. 3 home runs so far in this short season. As we head out to Wrigley Field to try and take a series against the Cubs. So the Cubs are 4-1. We are 4-2. And we're sending out Yusei Kikuchi, and he had a good start against Houston. You know, goes 7, gets the win, gets 5 punch-outs, but that did not transition over into his start against Chicago. So, Michael Busch second man up, and he's going to hit that one hard up the middle into center field for a 1-out base hit. Pete Crow Armstrong goes deep. I apologize for that weird cut, but he does go deep off of Kikuchi, and it's 2-0 Cubs.
Leading off for the Angels,
Zach Neto once again, like I said, he has already 3 home runs, and I have already moved him up into the cleanup spot. He's going to hit that one hard into center in front of Pete Crow Armstrong. So, not a home run, but still, can't complain too much. Logan O'Hoppy's another guy who's hitting 300 to start the season, and that's a great play. And that's going to end the Angels. Not even rally, but, you know, inning here in the second. 1 hit for Los Angeles, and it's 2-0 Cubs. Almost called them Anaheim. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, and this is where things really fall apart for Kikuchi. Nico Horner does what Nico Horner does, and he hits a base hit. Doesn't get talked about a lot about in this Cubs lineup, but he is just so good. He's good at getting on base, even though nobody, you know, we look at slugging and extra base hits and whatnot, but Nico Horner is always so consistent for the Cubs. And, you know, I thought that ball was going to be catchable because it didn't necessarily, like, it had a little fly ball indicator, but no, it is not. So it's a home run for Matt Shaw, and it is 5-0 Cubs. Sorry, 4-0 Cubs. And it's just not going to get any better. Ian Happ to left field. No one's there. Misplayed poorly, you know, by me, but it's a double for Ian. And all of this left on left, too. Michael Bush now had a base hit his first time. He's 2 for 2. No doubt about it. This is probably what you would expect more out of the Angels, as now it is 6-0. So, not great. And Kikuchi is on the trade block. I don't know what else we're going to get from him. 7-0, I should say. And Matt Shaw with more extra bases. So, not a great start at all. This is just a loss, you know what I mean? Scott Kingery is not a name that I've seen floating around in a long while. This is going to be out into right. Adele's going to make the catch. Here comes the runner, and he is out as it's a good throw from the cutoff man. Good play by the Angels. And that saves a base runner, potential run. So, we like that. Saw a good play from the Cubs defense. Now we'll see a good play from our defense, and we'll try to get out of this jam as we are well into the bullpen by now. Bottom 7, and it's 8-0, courtesy of Nico Horner. Things are not going to get better from here, but we will get some runs on the board, so we will avoid the shutout as Mike Trout goes into the outfield for a base hit, and Yohan Moncada, of all people, gets some good wood on that one. It goes the other way, too, for a 2-run shot. 8-2, and that will be your final. And that was just not a great game for LA. So they're going to drop this series to the Cubs, lose 2 out of 3, and we'll head home to take on the Mariners. And in the next video, we'll actually take on the Braves. So, Cubs do win this one 8-0. Edward Cabrera gets the win, and Kikuchi gets the loss. We were out hit 13-9, but they made the most of their 13. I feel like it was 13 doubles. Zach Neto did have an error that led to a run, you know, an extra base runner that led to a run, so that did stink. He's not the best defensively, but no one is on this team. So, looking into our first week of scouting, we are looking for pitchers, center fielders, and shortstops, because I feel like you can do a lot with a center fielder and a shortstop. Like, that's what you mostly see in the real MLB draft. Now, I don't know why I thought we had a higher pick than we did, but we don't. We had pick number 12, so we're going to have to make the most of picking, you know, early middle of the first round. So, we have 6 picks to work with: 12, 45, 84, 114, 144, 174. Lots of 4s. So I figure the first week of scouting, we're going to start with who's in our general 12th pick range. And the first guy we're going to look at is a center fielder from the West, Bryant Rice. Has decent fielding caps. Just, a lot of green. Okay. Arm might not be great. He's not going to hit for power. But we'll see how he, what he turns into. Of course, one of our scouts will focus solely on starting pitching, and we will first start by scouting the Central starting pitchers. We'll do Central, East, and International. I never really look at West starting pitchers, so we're going to look at that, and then we're going to look at the number 13th ranked prospect. Now, I'll take a look at these other prospects that are closer to the top of the round, but for now, this is what we're going to start with, and we'll just kind of see where it goes. Rolls might be fun to look at, but we're going to look at Scott Gonzalez because he's going to be at 13th. Again, he's not really going to probably hit a lot for power, but we're just looking for something. So that's where our board starts, and we will go from there. With that being said, we will stop here, and we will pick up next time as we take on the Braves, and I want to say the Yankees. So 2 early season tests. And we will also take a look at scouting once again. But we did lose 2-3 to Seattle, and we are looking to take the series against the Braves as we sit at 8-6 and they sit at 7-5. So with that being said, you guys, I will see y'all next time. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as I post videos as often as I can. Maybe this one will stick. Who knows? But we can only hope. So yeah, I will see y'all next time, and take care.